Go work at a McDonald's, go work at a fast food, go work that shitty ass job.
Work at a water park, work at an amusement park,
Those shitty ass jobs teach those kids something that they're not going to learn anywhere else.
And mom and dad can't teach you that stuff.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome to Life Generally, hosted by me, Jen Lofstrom.
And me, Jen Tran.
We are Gen Squared. And this podcast is about life as a Jen.
Yay! Hey Jen, how's it going?
Going pretty good. How about yourself, Jen?
It's going. How was your day today?
My day was okay. I'm just trying to keep up on everything and just dealing with burnout and trying to make sure that I have enough energy to do all the things while I'm commuting and working, but I'm keeping my head above water, and that's what matters right now.
Today we're doing a live recording, in-person recording.
We are, face-to-face. Woo!
Woo! Today was pretty good. I took my dog to the groomers, and so...
She's gonna look pretty.
Dude, I'm just happy that she won't be collecting vegetation to the house.
She doesn't shed very much, right? Because she's like a curly fur.
But even so,
but she brings leaves and stuff.
She brings leaves.
It gets stuck in her fur.
Poop.
Oh, gross.
Like the dingleberries are real.
Oh,
poodle mixes.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, dogs be dogging, so I get it. But that's great that she's getting a bath and you're not having to do it. So.
Oh no, my husband does it.
Yeah.
So Drew has to do it because he told me I do it too roughly on Lily, and he loves Lily. Okay, so when the dog breeder brought Lily to the house, she saw him first.
Oh,
instant connection.
She connected with him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they bonded first.
Even though it's kind of funny. She protects me.
She just shows her love in a different way for you. That's all. Yeah. I get it.
She doesn't cuddle with me though. She's not a cuddly dog. For fluff ball, you know what I mean?
My dogs most of them are cuddle bugs, so that would be unusual for me. But I also have smaller dogs, so
if you combined all your dogs, it would be my dog.
Yeah, it would. But the fur from our dogs is way more than any fur that your dog sheds.
Oh yeah, no, that's. I don't think I could live with
a dog that has that much shedding. Yeah, Betty, our big dog, she sheds a lot, and she just blew her coat, so it's been a lot of sweeping. But luckily, my partner has been helping with that, so that is because chasing that fur around the house is like tumbleweeds. So.
The sanity.
Yes, not good. And I want to open up the house because I don't want to run the air because I want to have fresh air. And then it's all of a sudden these fur balls are rolling around. So yeah, we have to keep up on it.
Okay. But today we have something exciting for you, besties.
Very special guest.
Yes.
We have my fiancé. Cory is here in the house live with us on Life Jenerally. Woo!
Cory, please say hi to our besties.
Hello, besties.
Are you doing the sexy voice for our besties?
No.
It's trying to sound super serious.
Vince Vega, thank you very much.
It sounded like Batman. You were like, I am Batman.
It's from Pulp Fiction.
Yes, yeah.
During the dancing scene, they had to introduce themselves. Yeah.
Very serious.
And that is very serious.
Right.
Like to be an actor.
Oh, well, that's actors have to deal with a lot of rejection. We talked about that on our last episode.
Yeah.
So, but that's a good pull. I appreciate it. So Cory's here to help us talk about easy leading and leveraging team strengths to reduce burnout. So Jen and I both have talked about burnout, whether you're working or you're, running a household or looking for a job, burnout is real, especially in our age group. And, as partners and as leaders, we can help each other navigate that and get the best out of all of us so that we can try not to burn out all the time. So Cory's been taking a leadership class about it, and he was really excited to share it with me. And I was like, well, why don't you just come on the podcast, dude? So, and then he was like, okay. And he didn't really think that it was going to happen, but it's happening.
Yeah.
And, burnout's something that we're all dealing with. You know, I got a stat from Forbes, and they said that 55 to 66% of employees say they are experiencing burnout. And so, you know, that's over half of us.
Yeah.
So, since you're a Southern California government professional and you lead your team, what are the things that you do as a leader and you could recommend for other people to do to help reduce burnout?
It was interesting. One of the interesting statistics that they gave us in the class is like the number one reason that people leave their jobs, and not just in government, but just in general. Do you know what the number one reason is?
Shitty leadership.
Bad boss.
You don't like your boss. That's the number
we
one
knew
reason.
it.
That's the number one reason why people leave their jobs. They don't like their boss. There's some sort of conflict with their boss. That's the number one reason why people leave their jobs. So it's important as a boss, as a leader, someone that manages a team, to invest energy and time into like getting to know the people that you manage and like understanding what makes them tick
and what motivates them.
And not just in work, but like in life, in all aspects of life.
Right.
Are you saying or advocating for like a 360 experience? Like, you know, there's like, when people say they know their coworkers, do you really know your coworkers? But then like when you are out of the work situation with this person that you work with, it's a deeper level. Like
it is.
Yeah. Our friendship right here.
Yeah. That's how we became friends.
Yeah.
Working together. And I think that is important, that, you know, it's an authentic, you actually know them and you know more than just the surface level things.
Right. Yeah. It's as a person that's their boss, I just like, I'm going to meet them wherever they're willing to meet me at.
Right.
So like, you know, some people that work for you are not going to want to be your friend
or go to a hockey game.
Right.
Anything like hang out at karaoke.
Right. They're not going to want to do things after work, but they, you know, if it's important to engage in conversations with them, to get to know them personally, and yes, to understand what motivates them and to understand what drives them both in the workplace and outside of the workplace. Because part of that is you're identifying what's important to them, and you're going to use that to help to guide them,
right,
and to help to mentor them, and to help to steer them towards accomplishing whatever the task is that you're trying to accomplish. And then separately from that, you're trying to identify what their strengths are and what their weaknesses are. And a lot of times what I've found is that if you're assigning tasks to someone that doesn't align with what their strengths are, that's going to lead to them burning out
and struggling.
Right. Like, so if I give someone a task, like, you know, go out and do customer service, go speak at the counter to someone that's like a hardcore introvert, they're going to be miserable.
And that's going to be taxing on their energy level.
It's going to burn them out so fast. Like, yes, they might be able to do it in like short spurts, but like if I have them doing that all the time, it's going to wear them out to the point that they're not going to get an opportunity to recharge. And that's going to be a problem. So being aware of like what type of like what a person's strengths are, and identifying what those strengths are, what type of employee each of your employees are, and being like empathetic to what their needs are, is how you're going to help them to manage their burnout. And the goal is to try and catch it before they notice it.
Right. Because if you're not in a situation where things are swirling and it's taking a lot of energy, then they're not having to burn out.
Right.
So you're preventing it from the get-go.
Correct.
Because I don't know, like, and I think Jen would agree with this, like the older you get, the harder it is to recover from burnout.
Yeah.
And
there's a piece of me that kind of believes why there's a space for MMA fighters. You know? Like,
yeah,
I am sick, I'm tired of this bullshit, and you have like sometimes it physically has to translate out because you can't contain it anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I am scared of MMA, like training and fighting, because I do not like to get hit in the face.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah. But I applaud those who have the strength to do it, you know, good for you.
Or kickboxing or
I'll share a lesson that I got. When I was young, I was an angry young kid.
Yeah.
I was really into like aggressive music, and I would go to shows. I would go to punk rock shows. I've had my teeth broken at a punk rock show. I've had my arm broken at a punk rock show.
Oh no.
So I was a
moshing and
mosh
everything.
pits,
Yeah.
Oh.
And for those of us that were involved in that scene growing up, we know something that a lot of people don't know that look at it from the outside, is that it's actually a very loving and supportive environment.
That's what I heard.
To be able to have that type of
release
that you're talking about. But my friend's mom, who was like she had this house where like all of us were invited to kind of come and
the hangout house.
It was like the hangout house.
That's very generous of this lady.
Yeah, she was rad, right?
Yeah.
And so we were all hanging out at her house, and I was on one. I was like ranting about something, and she came up to me, she goes, Cory, she's like, what's going on? She's like, and I was just like, I was angry about something. And I don't even remember what it was.
What you were all worked up
but
about.
What I do remember is what she told me to do.
Mm-hmm.
She goes into her kitchen. She was a little tiny lady. She goes into her kitchen and she takes down a pot off of the shelf and she hands it to me. And she says, take this outside and I want you to beat it against the wall as many times as you need to. And I was like, okay. So I go outside and I beat this thing against the wall like to a pulp. I come back and it's this gnarled mess of metal and a handle.
It doesn't even look like
a pot
anymore.
It's just like a ball of metal
and
enamel and a handle. And I'm like, and she's like, how do you feel? I was like, I'm still pretty amped up.
Yeah.
And she's like, I know. And she goes, now here's what I want you to do next. I want you to go in the bathroom. I want you to get on your hands and knees, and I want you to scream as loud as you can down at the toilet.
Oh my
God.
Like, it seems so random,
I
right?
know.
Yeah. I was like, really? She's like, just do it. And I was like, okay. So I went in there and I just start screaming at the toilet. And within a minute, maybe less, I'm laughing.
You feel ridiculous.
Because it's just like absurd, right?
Yeah.
And she comes back and she's like, what happened? I was like, I started laughing. She's like, why? She's like, I'm like, because it's ridiculous. She's like, exactly. And she's like, so what's the difference between those two? I was like, between beating a pot against the wall and between screaming at the toilet? She's like, yeah. She's like, one, you're fueling your anger by beating,
physical.
Yeah. Physically fueling your anger. The other one, you're curbing your anger by replacing it with humor. And you're subsiding your anger by replacing it with humor. And that lesson stuck with me for the rest of my life. And so when I get angry, instead of going out and beating a pot against a wall and fueling that anger, I find something that's going to make me laugh and bring me joy to curb that anger.
That's like people go to those wrecking rooms or whatever.
Yeah, I always wanted
stuff.
I always wanted
and to me, like literally thinking about going into one of those places, it gives me anxiety. It makes my chest just like.
It doesn't make you feel better.
Because to me, physically being aggressive, it's a scary thing to me. I don't want to be that way.
You don't want to release the dragon.
No, like I would rather laugh. I would rather laugh it off. Right. I would rather cry it off too. Yeah. In all honesty, like I would rather laugh or cry than be angry. And I know anger is like a healthy emotion, and you need it for grief and you need it for motivation. But it doesn't help me function any better. It actually takes more energy out of me.
But most of the time and you just kind of hit the nail on the head, and I don't know if you realize you did, but most of the time anger is masking some other emotion.
Right, hurt usually.
It's masking hurt, it's masking
frustration,
some other feeling.
Yeah.
Right? And so that anger, and as a young man that fueled with testosterone and not understanding my own emotions, I didn't know how to process that. And that little lesson that I had helped me to process it. And that feeling that I would get going and being in a mosh pit and surrounded by in a supportive environment, what it really was is it was a healthy place for me to be able to release that aggression, because I knew that when I fell down, someone was going to pick me back up.
Right. Yeah. You always look out for each other.
So really what we're doing in there is we're taking care of each other. That if someone falls down, you pick them back up. If someone's shoe comes untied, I will grab them and I will protect them while they tie their own shoes so that they don't trip and fall.
So it's like camaraderie.
It's like a brotherhood and camaraderie. If there's women in there, if there's children in there, we're going to take care of them. We're going to make sure that they're safe and that they're okay. I went into a mosh pit. I took Sam into a mosh pit, his first mosh pit. And everybody that was in there, it was like everybody locked in.
I was nervous.
Everybody knew exactly what we were going to do. as soon as we saw that there was a kid that was in there, and it happens every single time now. And I see it a lot more as I'm getting older, because a lot more people from my generation are bringing their kids to shows.
Mm-hmm.
So we're seeing more and more kids that are coming into the pit, and it's always the same thing. It's like, yeah, let's take care of it. And
he had a blast.
Nobody has to say anything.
No, it's understood.
And it just creates a space. But yes, you do fall down. It is aggressive. There is a physicalness to it. But it also is like, it's this release of endorphins, and in this like healthy space, it feels like being in the middle of the ocean, for me at least. And for me, it tickles that ADHD side of my brain, where when I'm surrounded by complete chaos, I feel this moment of like complete calm, and I'm like, oh, that feels good. Where the world around me feels like the way my insides feel, then I feel calm.
Yeah.
That's like, I can't handle silence. Silence is very hard for me. So you'll notice that I always have a TV on, or the radio on, or a podcast on all the time. There's always some noise. And I will just have it there so I'm not alone, quote unquote. You're right. And it's because when I'm quiet, doesn't feel safe to me.
Yeah.
That is so interesting.
Which is why meditating and doing like yoga and stuff are challenging for me. But it's stuff that I need to do because you need to have the ability to calm yourself and to not have to have outside stimulation all the time.
Right.
And not allow your brain to run wild.
Yeah.
Meditation is like a battle for me. When I started doing meditation, it was like an internal, like, and the teacher that taught me it was, he was like, don't just like close your eyes and let your mind wander. You've got
contain it.
You've got to contain. You've got to control it. You've got to not let it wander.
Yeah.
You've got to allow your brain.
You're not supposed to follow it.
You've got to allow your brain to stop thinking. And if you start to wander, you got to bring it back to your breath.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, because everything else was just like, let it run. And I was just like, and then I realized like, oh, this is hard.
Well, it's like, like daydreaming, it's nice, right? It relaxes your brain, but it's not. And also it allows you to have creativity, right? Sure. Daydreaming. But meditation, yes, I have to agree, it is very difficult. That's because you need to get into the gaps of two thoughts. Yeah. And that silence, and just hold it there. Right. Even if it was for 15 seconds, maybe 2 minutes, if you're a master or something. Right. You know what I mean? Like, just
focus on your breathing.
Yeah. I've been working with my therapist on it, and she keeps saying, you got to come back to meditation. You got to come back. And I would just like anxious mess. And I'm like, in reality, I'm getting back spasms and I'm hurting when I'm in traffic because I'm anxious. But what she taught me was, she was like, if you're burning out, you have to have these times where you're not thinking. You have to, because that is how you reset your body. Your brain has to stop moving so that your body can rest. Because she said, like, if you go to sleep and you haven't had any quiet time, how long does it take you to fall asleep? Right. How long, and then is it restful? Do you wake up in the middle of the night and like have thoughts racing through your head? Right. I do a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the dreams that you're having are so vivid and crazy that
or
your brain
stressful.
is running crazy. And then you wake up and you're like, you feel like you've been running a marathon all night, and you're like, I didn't get any sleep at all.
We had a wellness day yesterday at my job, and because I don't get paid for the podcast. It was on mindfulness, and it was talking about like deep breathing and pulling yourself out of things to prevent burnout. And it was really interesting that was happening, and I knew we were going to be talking about it here. But it was easier for me to do it this time because we did some breathing techniques and stuff.
What was it? Like, tell us.
Well, we just had to close our eyes and relax.
Were you sitting down?
We were sitting, but we were allowed to lay down or stand up or lean against something, whatever.
This lady knows
comfortable.
Her shit.
Yeah. So it was a therapist that was leading it, and so she was like, "Whatever makes you comfortable, you have to do." And also, you have to recognize, like, if you don't feel safe because you're in an office space or whatever, like,
or with your coworkers,
right? Or you don't have to. You don't have to close your eyes if you don't want to. You can still do it with your eyes open. But she said, just like, physically feel your body calming down, physically, like from head to toe, slowly feel the energy just like kind of going out of your body. A lot of deep breaths. And a lot of people breathe the wrong way. our human body was actually designed where we're supposed to, when you breathe in, your stomach is supposed to expand.
Yeah, belly breathing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when you breathe out, it's supposed to compress. But most people, like myself, who is a mouth breather, it is very hard for me to do that.
Is it because, like, the reason I think why people breathe,
they don't breathe the right way,
or mouth breathing, or it's kind of like you don't want to show your belly to the world, you know what I mean? It's like a vanity thing.
For me, it's not even intentional, because the weird thing for me is that when I do that, I'm still expanding my stomach, but I'm expanding it at the wrong time. I'm expanding it when I'm blowing the air out. So it's like counterintuitive.
I would say that's Pilates breathing.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I do all the time, but it's not actually, it's your body is like wired, and it's just doing things chaotically.
Right.
It's not actually the way that will help you relax.
Right. It's not synchronized.
No, it's not. And so like that, we did that. But usually when I do that, and I'll do it in therapy and I'll do it on my own too, it takes me a while to feel the calm. It takes me a while to rest, to stop thinking about things, to stop like wanting to go.
So what is a while then? 15 minutes, 20 minutes?
Usually it takes me at least 10 minutes to get into a zone where I'm starting to let go.
That's pretty good.
It feels forever for me, because I also have anxiety. So then I'm having anxiety that I can't relax, which is ironic. But
it's not ironic, that's your brain.
That's my brain. And so, but I was so proud of myself yesterday, because I was in a room with people. I didn't know all of them. I was at an office that's not my normal space. And I felt myself just like let go, let her listen to her words and breathe it out. And I did it within like 2 minutes. And that is really huge for me.
Yeah, that's huge progress.
Yeah. So
I've
been practicing.
Oh, I was going to ask you, like,
you have to do it. And like, I've been doing shower meditations. So like, because you're already in there, and there's already a restful, restorative thing with your shower.
Something restorative about water that just like,
I didn't realize it until I was talking about it, is that my showers actually calm me down. Like, that's why I prefer to shower at night. I have to shower in the morning because I like to have my hair look good, but I prefer to shower at night because that's where I decompressed every day. That was my meditative moment, you know. And sometimes I put music on, but I usually don't. It's quiet. Sometimes I'd light a candle. And that was how I took care of myself. My baths, especially. I miss having baths. We have like this baby bathtub, so it's not really anything I can take a bath in. But yeah, so if you combine that with meditation while you're in the shower, like I put on a YouTube with my phone, and it's talking about feeling the water go down your shoulders, and thinking about how you're gonna feel clean and pure and all these kind of things, releasing things. It's like way better shower than I usually have. So, there's ways to combine the meditation into other things.
Right.
You can do it while you're driving. You can't close your eyes, obviously, but
you might miss your stop.
Right. Yeah. You can. And I've done it. Like, there's a guy that I listen to who does driving meditation, and his voice is enough where you're not getting sleepy. That's the problem. Because honestly, most of the time when I meditate, I also want to go take a nap.
Yeah.
But being able to disconnect from the chaos, being able to connect with your heart is what I feel like, your soul kind of, it does help calm you. And from someone who was very not wanting to do any of that, to do that, it's a big deal. So I think it's great when workplaces have wellness days like that, and when bosses recognize that their employees need that kind of help, and mindfulness and wellness, your mental health, those are all really important things. Because I feel like, I don't know, I haven't looked at the data, but since we've come back to the offices since the pandemic, I feel like the pandemic was a time where obviously there was a lot going on and it was really stressful in some ways, but we were able to kind of slow things down, right? Because we were doing unexpected things. We were navigating tough times and it was stressful, so we all could take our time doing things. And then we eased back into our old reality, but now I feel like things are moving in faster. And how am I supposed to keep up with that?
Yeah.
When I finally recognize that if I have a work-life balance, my life is a lot better. But companies have less people working and they want you to do more things. And it's hard. If you don't have a boss that is aware of your strong suits, if you don't have a boss who is rooting for you or, encouraging you, checking in with you, then it's hard not to get burned out.
Yeah.
It really is.
I absolutely agree. Like, I had my fair share of shitty bosses, but I didn't have bosses who burned me out.
Okay.
It may have been a characteristic about them that I didn't like
that you clashed with.
Yeah, a clash or some ethical thing that I'm all like, I am not gonna stick around to see this shit show.
Right,
right.
Like, yeah.
But the work typically burns me out, not necessarily
a lot of it's a fast pace. Yeah. Right. And it's also a lot of the work you do is the same work over and over again. Yeah. It's repetitive. So that does drain you, right?
Yeah, exactly. So Cory, tell us about the burnout in your team, your immediate team right now. Like, do you see it?
Yeah, I mean, so just like being in the mosh pit and taking care of the people around you, I've got to do the same thing as a boss. So I've got my team right now. I have, there's a mix of, I've got a couple guys that are, in government, you have a salary range,
right?
That's defined. And once you reach the top of that salary range, that's it.
You're capped out.
So you're no longer able to get raises beyond that.
So you're talking about if they stayed at engineer 2 for the next 10 years, they didn't go to senior leader.
Right, because they would probably have to do more education or something like that.
Right. So one guy that I've got working for me, he's at an associate level. He had previously been promoted to a principal level. It didn't work out for him. He went back to associate, and he's been at associate for the last 10 years.
Is he happy about that?
He's happy that he's
content.
He's content with where he's at.
Okay.
So for him,
pushing him wouldn't help.
Pushing him to he doesn't want to get promoted.
Yeah.
He's not necessarily motivated by salary. He doesn't want to make more money.
He just wants comfort and security.
So he likes the security. He wants to work on interesting projects, though. He wants to work on big dynamic projects. He wants to be plugged in and wants to know what's going on.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of historic knowledge. So I assign those types of projects to him. And I've got to put a little bit of pressure on him, but I also need to know when to back off and when to apply pressure with him. And so with him, I have a very specific dynamic. I also spend a good amount of time talking about video games with him because he likes to talk about video games. And that's what he and I bond over outside of work.
That's your connection.
That's our connection outside of work.
That's when Jen and I started talking, we were talking about spooky stuff.
Right.
Yeah. We're ghost shows. And
right. And then I've got another guy, he's an assistant. In order for him to get promoted to an associate, it requires that he has a bachelor's degree, that he has a certification, and he doesn't have either one of those.
Currently, yeah.
And so he's not able to get promoted unless he was to go back to school and
do those things.
At this point, he's in his mid-40s. He doesn't seem
I went back to school in my 40s,
but it doesn't seem like
motivated.
It doesn't seem like that's necessarily what he wants to do, which is fine. He likes to work on. He likes to have a mix of things to work on. He likes to do creative things from time to time, things that allow him to just work on something fun.
Yeah.
He and I will organize an event once or twice a year, like a team building event. And he seems to really enjoy that. We both do. He just he likes to
connect with people.
He likes to connect with the team. He likes to be part of the team, and he's good at what he does. And I make sure he knows that. And I rely on him to help knock things out. And I recognize that from time to time things are going to fall through the cracks, and I don't blow his world up when that happens. I just say, hey, we missed on this one.
You don't micromanage?
I don't micromanage him at all.
No.
But even when I hear it from my boss about it, he's like, oh, you need to come down on him.
But that's not going to motivate him, though.
I don't. I take ownership of it.
Yeah.
And then that's where it ends. And then I might say, hey, we messed up on this one. I took some slack, but don't worry about it. I got you covered.
Mm.
And so I provide that barrier, and I never throw my staff under the bus.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, that's what's that servant leader really is, that you allow you and you empower your employees to do what they're good at. And that when you have a boss that is not a servant leader, or tends towards more of an authoritarian type of leader, which is where my boss is. I would say he's a mix of both authoritarian and a servant leader. He does a little bit of both. If you look at it on the spectrum, he's just a little bit more towards the center of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so when that authoritarian side comes out, I take ownership of it always. And
that's because that helps your team, and that's going to help them.
Right.
Like if you get, something told to you and they say, hey, you really missed the mark on this, and then you come out and go, hey, you missed the mark and I'm not going to put you in charge of these things anymore, that's not going to help anything.
Yeah.
In order to truly be a servant leader, you have to let them
the let them theory.
You have to empower them. You have to provide them with the resources that they need. You have to allow them to succeed, and you have to effectively delegate tasks to them. And you have to know when there's something that you're going to have to take on yourself, and when there's something that you're going to 100% delegate and let them. And if it gets fucked up, you're going to take the shot for it, and that's just the way that it goes. And that's the way. And I have no problem with that. I have no problem taking the shots when the shots need to get taken, and I'm totally okay with that. So that's what I do. I've got another guy though that, like, when I started at the city, I asked him, I was like, what do you want to do? Where's your goals? Where do you see yourself? Where do you want to be in 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, I mean, like, I want to get promoted to the next step. And so he and I sat down and we strategized.
We did a career pathway.
Okay, we identified what he needed to do. And then within a year, I promoted him. And then now we're talking like, okay, what's that next step? What do we need to do? And right now I'm trying to push him like, hey man, like, you should start looking at schools.
Like really consider
like
putting your education in.
Start taking some night classes.
Yeah.
Knock out that associate's degree first. I say, because a lot of these jobs that are that next rung up are looking for the bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be something fancy. It can be something like a business administration or something,
or communication.
That's
right.
Business administration is not fancy. I'm like,
no, bachelor's of business.
I think that's.
It's still harder. I think, like, for me,
I thought it was like liberal.
Or like
liberal arts, man.
Associate in what is it? Something studies.
You got to remember that I work in an environment where I'm surrounded by people with engineering degrees.
Oh, okay.
STEM degrees, like hardcore STEM degrees.
Yeah, okay.
And so, or law degrees. Those are the people that I work around.
And you have a poli-sci degree.
I have a poli-sci degree, which
you're in government. That makes sense.
Ish, right? But ish, but it's kind of useless.
Well,
it gets the job done, though.
Yeah,
it got the job.
Right.
Well, okay, then going back.
Yeah.
Why poli-sci?
So originally I was a biology major.
Okay.
I thought I wanted to be a high school biology teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I've taken all the biology classes in junior college. The only class I have left to take is I have to take one chemistry class. It's a 5-unit chemistry class I need to take to transfer to a 4-year college as a biology major. I take it at 3 different schools, 3 different times, trying to take it, and it's so boring that I just can't get through it. And it's not that it's hard; it's just that it's that boring.
It wasn't exciting.
It didn't interest me, and it's such a dry material, and the teachers were all shit, and I was just like, I was at a point in my life where I was really struggling with it. I'd been married and divorced to my first wife at that point, and I was just like, fuck, this is like, I'm never gonna get through this. What else am I interested in?
Yeah.
And one of the classes that I had taken was an environmental biology class.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about like the physical environment and impacts to the environment. And that was interesting to me. So I was like, well, like working in like government, doing like
policy and stuff,
more like
community outreach,
community planning.
Yeah.
Like that was what I was like, I was like, so maybe I can do like, I don't know, work in government, switch to political science. So I went, because I didn't know that planning was a
skill set,
a degree.
Yeah, it's a program. Yeah.
So I was like, what do I need to take in order to transfer to as a political science? Remind you, I've taken like 18 units of biology classes at this point, turns out I only needed to take one more poli-sci class and one English class, and I could transfer as a poli-sci major. And I was like, oh, okay. So I took those 2 classes and off I went.
Which is smart to leverage what you already have and not take more time.
So I took those 2 classes. I transferred to CSUN to get a poli-sci degree. And then when I'm at CSUN, I'm like, that's when I find out, oh, there's a separate program called urban planning. And I was like, oh shit. So I was like, well, I'm not going to fucking do this again. So I took a bunch of urban planning elective classes and classes that also would qualify for my major, but I stuck with the poli-sci, but I took a bunch of planning, a city planning class, LA history, past, present, and future class. It was also a planning class, and another planning class. And so I'd taken all these planning classes thinking, okay, I'm going to try and get into planning. And then I graduated. My oldest son was born while I was still in college. So I get out of college and I'm still thinking like, oh, maybe I can go be a, high school government teacher or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, but that's another 3 years worth of school.
Yeah.
Credential.
To get the credential and all
Yeah.
that. And I have a kid at this point and I'm like, well, I can't do that. So let me try and get into this planning thing. And so I'm out there and I'm applying for jobs and I'm going through what you're going through right now, right? Where I'm like, I'm getting shot down. Because there's like every school in Southern California offers a planning program. And
there's no planning jobs. Jobs, yeah.
And so then, I've got a political science degree, and so all these schools are spitting planning students out in the LA area, and I'm not competing.
Yeah.
So I applied for I was like, well, let me find one of these planning firms, and I just looked on their website, like, what can I get? So I applied for a job as a secretary, like literally answering phones part-time.
Admin and
admin
at the city.
No, at a private agency,
consulting firm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
At an agency.
That would work with the city.
That does work. So they specialized in doing transit planning, and they were nearby to my house, and they specialized in transit planning, and that was interesting to me. And so I was like, okay, and so I applied there. I got a job answering phones, and so I worked there part time, and then I worked at like a Best Buy store part time, and then within a couple months, the guy was like, "What do I got to do to get you to quit that other job?" And I was like, "I need to support my family."
Yeah.
At that point, I had another baby on the way. And he was like, okay, well, you can work as many hours as you need to.
Yeah.
And I'm making like $14 an hour. And so I'm working like 50 hours a week. And I'm like, okay. And I'm answering phones and I'm doing pretty much any job that he asked me to do. And then he's like, all right, I'm going to offer you the salary position. And he would send me out to like go hire a bunch of temps to put them on buses to survey customers on buses and then I'd ride buses and count how many passengers got on, like whatever I needed to do, collecting data, writing reports, whatever. And then he gave me a job finally officially doing planning, the title planner. And then I applied for a job working
in another city.
I applied for something where I was like, oh, where would no planner in their right mind want to work? I applied for a job in Kern County, which is up in Bakersfield.
I was gonna say
no planner in the right mind would ever want to work
California
there.
City.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is
Lake
County.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I applied for up there and I ended up getting that job. And so then I moved up that way. And that was my first government job. And I'd also enrolled at Cal Poly Pomona in the Masters of Urban Planning program there. I got like a quarter in, and then when I got that planning job, I dropped out of that program. I just needed something on my resume that actually said planning on it, and then got the first planning job, and I've been no looking back. So
I have to say, getting into Cal Poly Pomona for city planning it's a really good school.
It was a good school, and it's smart to go to a Cal Poly school because it's the same price as a Cal State school, and it's technically a better degree,
a little bit prestige.
It's like it's like a UC, right, where it's got the prestige and more science background to it.
But a third of the price,
right? Yeah.
And that matters to me.
Yeah, especially
so
when
anyways,
you've got a family and everything.
And then I worked for a handful of cities. I've worked at a regional planning agency. I've worked at a county. So I've been around. So that I've gotten to a point now where like I'm doing less planning work and I'm doing more getting yelled at and then managing people.
By community, not by your boss. Yeah.
I mean, something about my boss. I mean, I'm not the most professional, like in a professional setting. That's something that like my staff is very aware of.
Do they appreciate that?
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay.
But you're really transparent about it.
Very transparent. I'm very self-deprecating with them.
Right.
I'll tell them straight up, like, do not use me as an example for how to behave at work, but I will tell you and I will give you good advice on how to do it.
But is it okay? In a sense, isn't that a little bit hypocritical? You are the leader. You're supposed to set the example.
Yeah.
If you're
do as I say, not as
not
I
as-
do.
You know what I mean?
I literally say to them, "Do as I say, not as I do," and I say that with my whole heart.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, in a sense, like you're setting an environment to contradict yourself.
I do.
And just like, okay, all these leaders that you hear about the Epstein files, I'm pretty sure they had really good, not the pedophile part, like as the business leader of whatever, you know, to find out that they are a predator. You know what I mean? It's very.
I'm not a predator.
Yeah, you're not a predator.
I got that going for me.
Yeah.
But what I found at one point in my career, early on, I was really trying to get myself promoted
and be the consummate professional.
I was trying to go from being an assistant to being an associate.
Okay.
And that facade, because that was not authentic to who I am as a person.
Definitely a mask, right?
It was a mask that I had to wear. And that mask was what was burning me out.
It was exhausting to you. Yeah.
It was so incredibly exhausting to me that I was absolutely miserable.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't do this for the next 20 years. This is not going to work for me.
Yeah.
I have to be myself.
And you just have to find the right fit.
I just have to hope that I can figure out a way to make it work.
Right.
And so that's what I've done is that I've never gotten promoted at a job because I'm not promotable. In order to get promoted, I've gone from one place to another, and I interview well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're
very personable too.
In order to get that next rung up, people like me, but they also look at me and go, "Yeah, no, we're not going to promote him. We like him. He's great on the team. We love having him here. But are we going to promote him? Yeah, probably not."
So, in a sense, like I absolutely understand about being your authentic self. Even if I have to be somebody else at work, it is like you were experiencing. It is very draining to be somebody else.
It's depressing too. Yeah.
It's very depressing. It's draining. Don't get me wrong. If you by nature are a very petty person, and you're trying to cover it up with like sunshines and rainbows,
that's not good either.
Yeah, exactly. Like, girl, you
just be yourself.
Yeah, be yourself at this point. Like, if you have to be a bitch, you have to be a bitch. But don't be so rude to your coworkers in a sense.
Well, and I think that you respect your coworkers, and you just have more camaraderie with them.
Right. So that's what I do. Is I'm really fucking good at what I do.
Right.
I'm really good at what I'm good at, and
you're really good at what you're doing, but not. I'm just saying this.
Yeah.
In a non-threatening and
right, and then I'm really good
professional.
I'm really good at what I'm doing, and I'm great at it in a non-traditional way.
Right, and if you're not being like micromanaged,
so when I left that place where I was trying to get promoted and it wasn't happening, even though I was like literally killing myself to try and get that promotion.
Yeah.
And I left that place and I went to the next place and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to be me. And I'm going to go out and I'm just going to do what I think is right. And I'm going to do it the way that I want to do it. And I'm going to do it authentically for myself.
Yeah.
And be myself. It was the most successful job I've ever had. And I
thrived in that city.
I thrived in that city.
Yeah.
I thrived in that environment. I created a name for myself in our profession to where when I started at the job that I'm at now, my director already knew who I was
because you had spoken
because he had seen me speak
conferences,
at conferences and tons of professional organizations. They know me. They knew me.
You made your niche.
They were to the point where they were like, now you're not going to be doing any of that stuff that you did at that city here.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know what I signed up for when I came here. So,
or did they really know what they bought when came there?
They did. So they knew what they were getting when they hired me. Because when I went in for my interview, I said to them, you guys don't need an engineer for this position. You need someone that can go out there and get yelled at and be okay with it. And I'm that guy. I'm a professional at getting yelled at and being okay with that. and being good at
and de-escalating things too.
Yeah, de-escalating is such a skill that they should be teaching at school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like a soft skill, but it's actually hard, right?
That should be taught in middle school, in high school, hands down.
It starts with empathy.
Yeah.
And that empathy is when you started with empathy, you start your interaction, because when people come to the city and they're like frustrated and they're angry and
they're hot. They're good hot. Yeah.
People aren't going to come into the city unless they're already at a 9.
Yeah, they're not coming in and
They're
bringing donuts.
Correct.
Small conversation.
Yeah.
No Dexter's there.
No.
So they when they come in, they're already there, right?
Yeah.
They're already escalated to that point. So you've got to meet that with empathy and active listening.
Mm-hmm.
And so those are skills that like I already have, going back to like working in retail.
Mm-hmm.
Like
which is why they say that kids nowadays should be doing retail jobs instead of internships or volunteering.
Yeah.
Because if you have retail experience, you're humbled and you know how to deal with pressure.
I got a kid that's working for me right now. And the number one reason why I hired him as an intern was because he had retail experience.
Really? From where?
He worked at a Ralph's.
He did?
Yeah. Worked at a Ralph's store.
My friend's kid who met with a college like coach, they were doing volunteering for like, a shelter and stuff. And the coach was like, you need to get a summer job and you need to go work somewhere where you are face to face with people, because that's what colleges are looking for now, because that's building your resilience.
Yeah.
If you don't do that and all you've had is like this safe little house and you're not being challenged, that's not a realistic version of the world. And that's not a realistic version of college or the workforce. Yeah.
So that's hot take. When your kid is legally able to work,
16.
do retail.
Right.
First
retail.
job. Restaurants, yeah.
Anything customer relation.
Go work at a McDonald's, go work at a fast food, go work that shitty ass job.
Work at a water park, work at an amusement park.
Those shitty ass jobs teach those kids something that they're not going to learn anywhere else.
And mom and dad can't teach you that stuff.
They can't. It teaches them, one, the value of work, actual work.
It's not always easy.
How to show up to work on time. I've literally, within a month of working where I'm working right now, I fired an intern.
Why?
Literally the one thing that I will fire an intern for is if you can't show up to work on time.
And that's not being consistently inconsistent, you know?
So here's the thing. They get to set their own schedule. You tell me what hours you're going to be coming in. That's it.
Right. You're not giving them the hours.
I'm not telling you come in from this hour to this hour.
Yeah.
You're telling me I'm going to be here from 10 to 12.
Because I have class.
I have class or whatever.
Yeah.
Cool. Be there at 10 then.
Yeah.
And leave at 12. And I gave this kid like multiple opportunities. Like, do we need to adjust your schedule so that you can be here on time? And he's like, no, I can work this shift. I will be here on time. And then he just consistently, and it got to a point where I was having to micromanage him. Like, hey, when you get here, you got to come and check in with me to make sure so I can make sure that you're actually here. And it had been a problem before I started, and that had been communicated to me. And I was like, you got to understand, dude, I give amazing references.
Yeah. Do you want to survive in this town?
Right. Like, I mean, he'll back you up.
When you graduate and you go out and you apply for a job and you put my name down as a reference and they call me,
I've got your back. Yeah.
I'm going to sell you to that person and they're going to want to hire you because of the reference I'm going to give you. And I've done it for my whole career because I've taken care of the people that work for me. But
I can't do that with you.
The reason I fired him is because I'm like, it got to a point where I'm like, I'm not doing him any favors by allowing him to continue.
And if you're associated with him at that point, it also becomes kind of a brand problem for you.
The crazy thing is like, I don't show up consistently to work on time either.
Right.
But I'm at the point now where like,
but you stay late too, and
work crazy night shifts. I'll work 13-hour days when I need to. Like that's just part of being a manager.
Right.
But I'm at
the one thing you're just asking this kid to do
in an entry level internship, is
that you got to show up to work on time. when you say you're gonna be there, you gotta.
That's I worked. My second job was McDonald's in high school.
Yeah.
My first job was at a Halloween store, so that was the best, like costume shop. So, but
damn thing changed.
They had a rule that if you showed up 1 minute late, that they would send you home.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Man.
And it was hard because sometimes I didn't have a car. Like my mom was dropping me off. And I literally would tell my mom, I got to be there half an hour earlier. So I would just be like, oh yeah, Mom, I'm starting at 9. I might be starting at 9:30, but I'm telling her 9 so that I get there and I'm not late. Right. Because I knew that if I got sent home, one, I got to figure out how to get home because my mom's already gone.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get the money.
Yeah.
How am I going to pay my car insurance when I'm getting a car? Like all of those things, it was a reality because they were so strict about it but then I also learned that my family, we went camping a lot. And my parents had like a craft business and they would sell random things at campgrounds. It was fun. The rule my mom had was I couldn't work weekends. Like just, I cannot work weekends.
You're working with them.
Because I'm doing the family stuff. Right. And so that when I got hired, I said that and one of the managers kept scheduling me on the weekends and to the point where my mom came in and complained, which doesn't help anybody. That's not,
let me handle this.
Yeah.
This is my
so
gig.
Finally, I talked to the owner who I had interviewed with,
and
because the manager wasn't listening, and I said, we had this agreement, and I said, if we can't honor it, then I'm going to have to leave because I'm honoring your guys' commitments that I've made, right?
Right.
I need you to honor this for me. And so he went and talked to that manager, and the manager actually got in trouble, and they made my schedule the way it was supposed to be. But I had to learn how to do that on my own. You know, that wasn't something I had done in school. That was
that's real life shit.
Right.
That's some grown up shit.
Yeah, and that's I was 17, so
way to go, girl.
Yeah,
17,
advocating for myself, right? And but I didn't know how to do that. Yeah, I mean, we're Gen X. We like respect our elders, and we just put our head down and do things. You know,
just figure it out.
You got to figure it out, and you don't say anything because that's like giving lip, and you're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
So for me to learn how to have my, I know, for me to like have my voice and find that, it's something that I teach my son. Like we're working on it with Sam all the time. Like for school, if he has a problem, we're saying, you email the teacher, you do these things. Yeah. I know you're in middle school, but you have to start doing these things.
Yeah, you have to advocate for yourself. Like I had to learn that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When I was young, because my parents they had to intervene with certain things, but it just got worse, you know?
Yeah,
it's better off.
A lot of times it made things worse, yeah.
But yeah, like learning how to advocate for yourself is very empowering as a young person to grow up and having that skill set versus learning it in adulthood.
It's a struggle to learn it. It is, because also you're learning how to let go of your ego in a lot of ways, right? Yeah. And so you're like telling someone I need this, but you're also recognizing they may not give that to you.
Yeah.
And so you're not saying I'm entitled to this.
Yeah.
Right.
You're saying this is what I would like. Are you able to do that?
Right.
Yeah. And can we work something?
If we can work this out, great. If not, then I need to go somewhere else.
But this is what we agreed to.
Right. This is, I mean, I literally had it on my job application and like for that job. And so I think that I have seen adults, I have worked with adults that have come in and they didn't work retail. They didn't work any customer facing job. And they think they should get a promotion after a year.
Yeah.
Because they've been there a year and they did their work. That's not really how things work. Like, great, you did your job. Awesome. You got paid and you got medical. So that's cool. That's the exchange.
Yeah.
But
it's not enough.
It's not. And so you have to push yourself and you have to tell people, this is what I want. This is where I want to be. And I mean, part of that I'm selling myself right now. I'm reminding myself of this, but for my own career. But this is what I want. This is what I want to be. And because no one else is going to do it for you.
Yeah. And also like, you can pray to the universe to want this, but you have to voice it out to a possibility of a person to make it happen, besides for yourself.
Right. You don't want to just keep throwing coins in a well.
Yeah.
And go, okay, well, I did it. I was at Disneyland. I threw $10 in there.
So hard.
But I didn't talk to my boss and say, hey.
Whereas for me, I'm like, look, you're gonna put up with my shit
Mm-hmm.
because I'm a little bit of chaos and a little bit of obnoxious.
But you're self-aware.
But I'm also like, I'm also gonna mentor you. We're gonna talk. We're gonna have conversations about where do you want to go, what do you want to do,
Yeah.
Or
like,
how to handle certain situations.
Yesterday, I've got that kid that I hired as an intern.
Uh-huh.
A year later, I hired him again. I promoted him as a part-time assistant. He's still in college,
Uh-huh.
and he worked for me as a part-time assistant engineer because all he did was he said yes. When I said, "Hey, do you want to come with me to this meeting and just kind of fly on the wall?"
Which is what you should do as an intern anyways, right?
He was like, "Yeah," but not all of them do that.
Right, because they're also paid internships. I had to do unpaid internships.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is that it's one of the lowest paid internships that are out there available. And so a lot of these kids, they're like, well, I can get a better paying internship someplace else.
Okay, well, go do it.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Go do it if you can get it.
Yeah. Right.
But this kid, he understands the value of working for a city because his dad works in government too. His mom works in government.
Well, and that means his parents have also set him up to have realistic expectations.
He played baseball all through school, so he knows what it feels like to not get what he wants, and he knows what it feels like, what it's like to be on a team. He gets along very well with the rest of the team. He knows how to fit in well with the team. He knows how to take direction. He knows how to take constructive criticism, and so all of these things are playing to. These are his strengths.
Mm-hmm.
His weaknesses are like his technical expertise and his writing. He's got to work on that. His writing is where he's, but we're working.
But that's a skill that he can work on,
These
and
are all
that's
things
easy thing that you can work on.
Like I say this all the time. We hire people based on fit, not based on technical expertise.
Okay.
It's your personality.
How are you going to fit in with the team? Because we can teach technical expertise. We cannot teach.
You
fit.
always have to learn new processes when you start a new job. Like everybody does something different.
Yeah.
At my last job, the way they did budgeting was in a system. Where I'm at now, it's not. It's a lot to learn, but you have to learn it because that's the way it is. You can't be like, well, this is what I used to do. Like they'll be like, great. That's great that you did that. Now get back to this.
Yeah.
You know, you have to learn how to roll with the punches and learn and do what a new place is doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
So he's getting close to. I pushed him. I was like, you need to get. There's a certification called it's an EIT. It's engineering training.
Okay.
It's a test that you can take called the Fundamentals of Engineering that you can take while you're in school.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, take this before you graduate. While all that information is fresh in your head, take it while it's in your head.
Mm-hmm.
And so he did. He took it once. He failed it the first time. I was like, keep going. Take it again.
Mm-hmm.
He signed up. He took it again. He passed it.
Okay.
So now he's getting ready to graduate. He's already got his EIT. He'll have his bachelor's at the end of this year.
Uh-huh.
We had a position that opened up on another team. Working with people that worked with us on the position that I ended up promoting him to. He comes and he reviews new development that's coming into the city.
Mhm.
And really, like, I'm like, I need help staying organized with this stuff because I'm a little not organized. And so I'm like, I need someone that can draft up that can.
but you know those were strengths for him.
Right.
Yeah.
So I need someone to help me with that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, cool, I got that. I can do that. And so he stays on top of it, stays organized. And we sit down, we go over the projects together. We put together our comments, we review stuff. And then slowly I'm teaching him all the like technical stuff that he needs to learn.
Right.
But at the base, it's like organization is the number one thing. And then the technical stuff can stack on top of that.
But attitude gets you everywhere.
Yeah. The willingness and timeliness.
Yeah.
That's everything.
Like,
yeah.
The basis of discipline in general. That's a good hot take, man.
Right.
Yeah.
It goes a long way.
Yeah.
So he went from making $16 an hour to making $40 an hour.
Yeah.
That first promotion.
That's huge.
That's for a kid that's in college. That's a huge jump.
That's huge for anybody.
So the position he's applying for, so now there's a position that's available. It's the same position he's in, but it's full time. And it's on another team. But it's doing basically the same kind of stuff that he's doing now. But instead of reviewing it for traffic, which is what we work on, it's reviewing it for a different type of engineering stuff. And so he's interviewing for that position. And so like just yesterday, we sat down and we did a mock interview.
Mm-hmm.
We went and we practiced. We talked about the big picture stuff. I gave him all kinds of pointers about how to like the STAR method for answering questions. We talked about like
what's the STAR message for answering questions?
So it is situation, task, action, and results.
That's right.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so that's how for interviews, like that's how they want people to frame.
It's a way to frame your
answers.
Yeah.
Like,
so 10% is your situation. Context.
This is life-changing. I didn't know this.
10%. So I have an old intern that used to work for me many years ago. He's now the director of community development in a small city up in Washington State.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So that's huge.
Yeah.
He swears by this method. So it's 10% is situation. So you just
give them the lowdown.
Give them some text. Give them some context. Right. 10% is like the task. What do you need to do? And then like 50% is going to be your actions. What did you do? Mm-hmm. And even if it was a we, it should always be an I.
You should say I did this.
Yeah. That's so tough. Even though I know I did it, I say as we.
I have to say I because if you say we, then it doesn't.
I know. That's what I'm learning that right now. Yeah.
And then the last 30% is the result.
Yeah. So measurable results.
Right. So that's how you frame your response to be concise and to give the full picture.
I just try to be sociable.
But you can make stars sociable.
Yeah.
You can just
you
have to just
remember I might be doing already, but I over-explain situations.
Right.
So that's something I need to work on.
What that means is that you're giving too much context, too much situation,
not enough action and result.
Yeah,
action and result. So that's where you want to really focus your responses on the action.
That's a good hot take, guys, for me.
So that's something that he and I went over yesterday. And the truth is, like, if he gets this job, I'm going to lose him. That means he doesn't work for me anymore.
Right.
And I now have to fill that position.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're getting like a disciple. You know what I mean? Like,
well, it's what's good for him.
It's good for him.
If you're servant leader, you're caring about them. You're not caring about your position.
It's not about me. It's not. I don't give a shit about my.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you're creating opportunity. Now this kid is leaving for another opportunity. It opens another opportunity for some kid to come in.
I've had a boss tell me that when I'm applying and I say, hey, I'm applying for these jobs that are within the company because I want to move up and I want to try something different. And they were like, I really don't want you to do that because then I have to hire someone to replace you.
They're lazy.
And I was mortified. I was like, what? That's not my problem.
Yeah.
You know, like, so I'm going to stay pigeonholed.
That's him saying, I'm going to actually hold you back so that I can.
I don't have to hire anybody else.
I don't have to hire anybody.
Yeah. I think that anyone who's been in that situation, it totally sucks.
It
sucks. A lot of times you have to leave an org for that.
Leave an org because that means that every time you apply for a position within that org, that manager is going to be It's going to be
a roadblock.
Is going to be roadblocking you. It's going to be trying to cock block you every time.
Hold you back.
Yeah. So it sucks. So that's my team. Those are the 4 direct reports that I have right now, and then I'm part of a larger team, and then I'm not just managing my team that works for me. I also have to manage my boss.
Yeah.
Managing
up is really a skill.
And it takes
you're good at it.
Yeah. So managing up is managing expectations.
You're right.
Is managing the relationship between your boss and your staff and being that barrier and being that stop.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's also a way of reminding them what role you play on that team.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm not the only person that is in my role. So I've got peers that are in my same role that I'll have other teams as well that we all report on the same team. So it's also important to me the culture of our team as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
And so I also really invest a lot of time into trying to nurture the culture of our team.
Yeah, I think that's so important.
It is.
Yeah. Because to me,
that's number one in all honesty.
One of the things that we learned early on in this thing that we're taking is that there's 4 stages of team development. You've got the forming stage, when a team is first coming together. And then the next stage is called storming. And that it's usually a period of conflict.
Yeah.
Where people are figuring things out and their heads are getting butted and there's disagreements and you're kind of figuring things out. The next stage is norming. That's when things start to kind of like
level out
and make sense. And some teams, they just get there. And the final stage is performing.
Yeah.
That's your peak. That means your whole team is dialed in, and everybody is
high performing
and is working cohesively as a team. And right now I feel like that's the way that our team as a whole is currently operating. And I think that I'm playing a critical role in the team as a whole operating and that level, in the way that I interact with not just my direct staff and my manager, but my peers and their staff as well, is ensuring that the culture of our group is one of collaboration, where we
build each other up.
We talk about things. We support each other.
I actually have like this really clear intuition. Like,
girl, are you woo woo?
I can like peg it, but it's because I've been through so many different layoffs, and every industry I choose is the one that crashes after 5 years. Yeah. So I could see things, when we were working at the university, and then I moved up because I got my MBA and I was in analytics. Well, analytics means that I see enrollments.
Yeah.
And I was like, this isn't good.
Yeah.
And I had even like told my brother from another mother who I worked with, I said, hey man, like, I don't know, we might want to start like getting our resumes ready.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, Jen, you're just a single mom. It's okay.
You don't know anything.
It's not going to be like that. They're not going to lay us off before Christmas. Like, they laid us off 2 weeks before Christmas.
Yeah, okay, something like that is
I just gut.
You
I saw the numbers.
You saw the numbers.
But I also saw the way people were acting, because I'd been through restructures. I mean, one of my companies that I worked for, I went through like 4 restructures there over like 3 years. Yeah. So I I see the signs and I go, oh man, when we say, hey, we're just going to like trim down some things, we're streamlining. Right. I hear streamlining in job roles.
Like, it's time to book it.
I'm like, all right, you got to start fixing up your resume, because that means they're going to lay off people. Yeah. No matter, and they'll say, we're not laying off anybody. We're just streamlining roles. Within 6 months, there's layoffs.
What's interesting, I worked at a previous agency I worked at, I went through 2 or 3 restructures while I was there. There was never any layoffs. Mm-hmm. In fact, they expanded in the time.
Well, that's a healthy org if
I worked there. What it was though is it was the they got new funding that came in during that time. Mm-hmm. The pandemic happened during that time, so they needed to expand because of this new funding, and thankfully the pandemic made it so they didn't
have to get more desks.
They didn't have to get more desks,
or a bigger building,
or an extra floor in the building, which saved them quite a bit of money. And so then they just were able to hire more people and expand out more teams and stuff. But what I found in all of those restructures, like the entire time, it was like, because it's like you go through these stages where you go forming, storming, norming, performing. I never got to the norming or the performing stage
because they were changing it quickly.
Because every time it just like everything kept getting.
And you've been in companies like that, right?
No, okay. No? I actually got to see it through. So startup culture, you are always storming and forming,
and feel comfortable.
And that's why, like, if you get any like besties, if you have been in startup culture, you know the chaos,
right?
But you are lucky to see it through, because it's like, this is the chaos. Your heart and soul kind of belongs to this brethren of people, because it's like, at the time it might be just 10 people that are now your new brothers and sisters, right. And
you have to work together.
You have to
make
work,
it work.
Make it work, because you want money.
And also, like, how many like startups don't go further than the start,
So, and also, and like, it's like sometimes you have to double down, but I was very fortunate to see the whole formation and also to normalize something and even do reiteration. So that is fantastic, versus like, for you to see like, the tea leaves have the organization has said keywords. It's time for you to go. Yeah. I have
Those
not
are buzzwords for me. I know them like out.
I don't, for some, because of my naiveness. Yeah. Because of startup culture, it's all like, I'm thinking the positive of like, we're gonna
which
do
is
something.
ironic because I'm a really positive person.
I know, and I'm a cloud doom person.
Right, and you're like, you're the realist. You're always like, well, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
And you like say, you even play like devil's advocate on
Yeah.
things and go, well, maybe it's not that way. You know, you
Yeah.
challenge things. And I'm the person who's like, everything's gonna be all right. And
but how many of those startup companies are the ones that you burned out during?
I didn't. I just
she was younger.
I was younger. I have drank the juice. You know what I mean? And honestly, like my closest friends, like my first startup was literally my family. So it's like I haven't lost contact with a lot of them, and it's like it's like the brotherhood of the first gen.
It was that way when I worked in TV, like especially because we were, you know, there's new seasons. You don't know if you're going to renew. You don't know. You have to, you know, a lot of
so much heart and soul.
And you're like, you want it to be successful because if it's not successful, you don't get another season.
Yeah.
Right.
And so like you are investing your heart and soul. You're putting all your time into it. You're sleeping on the couch at lunchtime because you're tired and you're there until 11 at night.
Yeah.
You know, but
and you're taking shots with your,
man.
you know,
they're like, here's some, we got some wine from the winery we filmed at. And I'm like, I can't do that. I gotta drive 2 hours home, but thanks.
They're like, no, you can sleep with the coach.
Yeah, they're like, just sleep on
Notice.
the couch. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, there one of the previous cities that I worked at, there was, you know, part of my job was to look at the data that we would receive from some of the businesses that were in that city on. And the data was, you know, what time did you come to work? What time did you leave from work? And a lot of the data from some of these, the city had a lot of studios in it, and a lot of companies that were around the studios, supporting the studios. And so you know, a lot of those companies, it's like, you know, we'd see like,
they're there 12 hours.
like one of them, you know, there was a gaming company that was based there. And like,
was it right?
And what's that?
Was it right?
No, it was Insomniac Games, and those employees would come in at like 7 a.m. and they would stay until 11 p.m. every day.
Yeah,
and then they would work like Monday, like 7 days a week that way.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
how is that sustainable?
Right. How is that sustainable as a person? So I actually had a friend of mine that worked for that company. And so I asked him, you know, I was like, dude, how do you think I always wanted to be a game developer?
Right, it's his passion.
And I decided that this is what I wanted to do, to the point that I was like, I'm going to not get married.
It's going to be my whole life.
I'm not going to have kids. I'm not going to have
How old was he when...
My same age.
But when you talked to him
When I talked to him, this would have been like 10, 15 years ago.
Okay, this is before Riot and the other game company, Blizzard, came together, and the Me Too movement and...
Right.
The poor conditions.
Yeah.
So no, this was what
he
really wanted.
He recognized that it wasn't going to be sustainable for him to have all the things, so he had to choose his career.
And he chose that he wanted to work on Ratchet and Clank for the rest of his life, and that was what he. That was
10, 15 years ago. Him,
right?
And how about now?
He's still doing it.
Oh,
still doing it.
But you know that some people's passions are different, right?
That's what he wanted.
That's like,
but that was the choice that he made. And so like when I hear the term startup, and I know a lot of people that have worked in startups, and unfortunately like the companies themselves, like they create this environment where it's intended to be super supportive. Like I worked in the .com boom when the .com boom first happened.
Yeah.
And they, you know, the way that they designed the offices and the services that they provided on there, the whole idea was to keep people there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we'll get your dry cleaning, we'll feed you, we'll, you know, we have little rooms where you can take naps in them, and the whole reason for that was to get you to stay there and keep working, and you know, for
like 15, the internment camps of
the
the railroad,
like,
you know,
for 15 hours a day, because that's what we want you to do, and
you're already paying, you're making salaries, so it doesn't matter
to surround your life around it. And then they have this environment where the whole and it's all like a hype show to try and get people to get people amped up and pumped up to where they're gonna
drink like the
Kool-Aid and to pump them up, and then I watch people burn the fuck out on that, and they go from one startup to another, and I've known a few people that have done it, and they love that feeling of being at a startup,
the excitement,
and the drive of it, and they're craving that thrill, and then it's the most unstable, like just awful, like lifestyle because you're always looking for that thrill, that drive, you're fueled
You're
by
in
it,
it.
your endorphin hit, but then it's like it, most of these startups don't last. You put all of this time and effort into it,
Or
and
they like get bought by someone else, and then it all changes.
Yeah, but I'm saying, okay, the only reason why I'm pro startup, if you have an identity crisis, it is definitely a place to be in.
Right.
Oh,
it does make
it gives
you feel youthful.
Yeah.
Like even though at the time when the startup I was, the medium age would have had been like 31, 32, even though there were people in their 40s, you know, in it. But at the time when I was there, it was a very young company. Even the CEO had his family, you know, and all that stuff. I understand the extremes of startup, like to become a work slave, right? But I think when that launch of the startup boom and all that stuff of 10 years ago, it was manic and kind of crazy.
Right.
I still advocate for it. Like it's like an extension of college.
Jobs are everyone has different fields and different kind of environments that they thrive in. You know, TV was definitely like high in output all the time. I got engaged at the time a million years ago to my first husband, and people laughed at the show I was working at and said, "Good luck with that. Your marriage won't last if you work in TV." It wasn't congratulations. It wasn't when are you getting married.
Let me see the ring.
It was like, yeah, we'll see how long it lasts.
Good luck.
That is crazy.
And it was from multiple people on a production. It wasn't just one person. So it wasn't just one jaded person. It was because they all were divorced because it was their life. And
it's the same way with cops.
Yeah, a lot of
same thing. Most like
a lot of police officers.
Any job that's out there where they're putting in like a significant amount of overtime hours or whatever, but they're kind of fueled off of that. It's very common where like divorce is just the rate of divorce is so high.
People, because the partners get burned out because they're doing everything solo, and I mean,
it's not necessarily fair, but at the same time, I'm not here to give marriage advice. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
third time's a charm.
Exactly.
You have to know yourself and you have to know what you can handle.
And also, like, you know, now I think in the most recent years, like the last 5 years of like intentionally putting your time into, is it your family, your work, whatever anybody in different stages have decided, right? Yeah. Whatever. And here, Life Jenerally, we're not judging you. If you're putting 80 hours in work or 80 hours with your family, whatever.
Your priorities are your priorities. Right. I just think that you just have to be honest with yourself about them. You can't have everything all the time.
Right. It's impossible. Yeah. Even Shonda Rhimes said it herself. Like,
that's why she didn't have a family, right?
No, she did have a family, but it's like, because like she was hot, she was really hot. A lot of studios were coming up to like, or a lot,
all of her scripts were getting bought.
It's like when can you start working? But the question for her was like, can I spend time with my family? I have to make these arrangements, concessions, blah.
But she negotiated for those because that was important to her.
Well, I don't know. She had to. The book was like the year of no or the year of yes or something. I forgot. I remember it's either no or yes, where it's yes as in I'm going to spend time with my family, or yes, I'm going to take on this project or whatever. Or yes, I'm going to learn how to belly dance.
Right.
She was very clear. When you get to the height of you can have anything in the world now.
If you're calling the shots. Yeah.
Yeah, but the time that all human beings get, even if you pretend to think you're going to live forever, like those tech bros who are like, I'm going to live to 200 years in this blah, blah, blah. No, your time is basically how you allocate it. It's the same. You're going to die. We're all going to die. Yeah. How do you want to spend your time? That's the question.
Yeah.
Right. And I think also that's like, what kind of person do you want to be? Right.
Yeah.
Like you said, you want to be authentic at work and you want to, and that fuels you. Right. And like, so do you want to be work driven and that's your success is what you're leaving behind? Or are you a kind person who helps people and volunteers? Like,
yeah,
and I've said this story, I had a boss who was a female boss who told me, I can't be nice and successful as a woman.
Right.
Which I kind of agree with her, but I am waiting for you to show me up on that.
I think though, if you're in the right environment, you can be. You can be. But if you're in the wrong environment where people are cutthroat and they're, or they're all looking out for themselves, then obviously no. But in the right environment, yeah, you can still be nice and still be successful.
I always think like you only see that in nonprofits. No, I'm assuming this was a nonprofit.
Yeah, it was a nonprofit.
Yeah, boss.
Yeah.
That you're just kind of like, what?
Which didn't hit right because
yeah,
nonprofits supposed to be giving back. But
exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, that's also a thing that you learn about nonprofits is they're still a business. So they just got different taxes. And
Mother Teresa's organization.
I mean, Mother Teresa is Mother Teresa. I'm not going to make any judgments on her because I'm not a saint. So
wonder about that. Like, you need to show kindness. And I'm pretty sure in her organization, she did show kindness to her people that she needed. But at the same time, you still have
to run a business.
You still have to run the business.
The bottom line is important because if you don't have money, you can't serve your community.
People, yeah.
And I also think like when you look at, when we were in school and we were talking about companies that say they give back to communities like Tom's, right? Mm-hmm. And they were just giving shoes to random places.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then these places had too many shoes and they didn't need the shoes, but that was their spiel. They were like, we give for every pair of shoes you buy, we give a pair of shoes to someone who needs them.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't really going to someone that needed. They was actually making a lot of trash and stuff, right?
Trash.
Yeah. And so they had to humble themselves and realize like our strategy is not working. This is not, we want to give back. We have to do it another way. And they had to and that was why they blew up. That was their bargaining chip. Like they were like, this is us.
Yeah.
And they literally had to step back and say, you know what, we're actually harming our communities that we're trying to help. How else can we help them? We can make a donation for education. We can help by, making sure that they have clean water. Giving them shoes sounds cool, but it's not actually the right fit.
Yeah.
So
if the shoe fits.
Yeah, but seriously, it's all, the job fit is important when you're interviewing for a job, and even when you're desperate for a job. Sometimes you can get vibes from a place and you're like, yeah, no. Like when I started working at the university, the first job I had, I was hesitant to take it because it was a frontline phone job, and I had done customer service and I didn't want to do that again. And I had graduated from college and I wanted to do something else. But when I did that, my cousin, Amy, my sister, because she said, you will want to work with these people and they will build you up. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay. So I met the people and she was 1,000,000% right. And those are the people who helped me get communications and marketing stuff. They helped me move up into marketing. They promoted me because they saw my potential and they believed in me. And that was the way they wanted to move people up, like Cory does. And so I took that job, and that job changed my whole life because that job led to me going into writing, led me going into marketing, led me to have my MBA, led me to have a 2-bedroom apartment like that. So you have to see the culture any way you can, which is why if you have a connection, it's a lot easier to understand that.
Yeah.
But, our coworker, Shannon, she would always say, you're interviewing them too. Like you're interviewing.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. If you want to be there and it's going to work.
All right. Cory, last question. Your top 3 practices for easy, sustainable leadership.
Top 3 practices.
Uh-huh.
I've kind of already hit them a little bit, but it's knowing who you're leading, knowing what drives them, knowing what's important to them, never assuming that the paycheck is all that they're after.
Yeah, because I like gold stars. So.
Right. And some people are motivated by high fives. Some people are motivated by motivational speeches. Plants don't grow from those things.
Right.
You need the right.
Hot take.
Yeah.
You need the right environment. You need the right amount of sun. You need the right amount of whatever in order to grow. So understanding who you're leading, I think, is the most important thing for me. So that's kind of the first thing.
Wouldn't you say fit over skill is something that you would?
Yeah, I mean, the technical stuff, I mean, I work in a very like technical field. So depending on the position, there's some positions where like
You need the experience,
there's some basic like level of technical skills that are necessary. But if I'm hiring for an entry level position, yes, fit is always more important than technical skill. But fit is probably like if I've got two candidates that are equally technically matched, fit is always going to be the deciding factor between those.
Well, that's because one of your life rules is don't be a turd. Yeah, that's what we teach Sam. So
I feel like that should be our close.
Well, no. There's a lot of things that I have one-liners here at home.
Yeah,
I have even more at work. I culture and in the environment of the place where we work, it needs to be someplace where people want to come into work.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah. And so having fun at work for me is what makes going to work bearable.
That energizes me too.
Right.
Yeah.
So like my job is not easy. We deal with stuff on a day-to-day basis that can be grueling, that can be tough. We're getting yelled at by people. I'm getting yelled at by
life and death things, like accidents and stuff like that. Like
collisions happen, and they are.
You don't call them accidents; they're collisions.
You don't call them accidents. Call them collisions. People are, anytime a car crash happens, somebody did something stupid that they shouldn't have done. If you call it an accident, it's like saying, "Whoopsie."
Oops. Yeah.
I'm sorry that person died.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, crash or collision is the term that we use. So and yeah, people die. And that's heavy stuff. And there's been a few crashes that have weighed on my heart for my entire career. That I still think about. And so those things are heavy. And because of that, we need to make up for it with some joy. Like yelling at the toilet. You've got to
laugh.
You got to
be silly.
You got to laugh. You got to have some fun. And you got to find a way to connect with the people that you're around. So creating an environment that people can enjoy and want to come to is important. And so it's social. It's a family. For a lot of us, we spend more time with the people at work than we spend with our actual families.
True.
So it should feel like a family, where we might bicker with each other like siblings, but we also have each other's backs like siblings, and we support each other and we take care of each other. And so that's a critical thing. So yeah, that's, I guess,
those are your answers.
Those are the answers. Yes.
All right. Where can our besties find you?
Find me.
Well, they can find you as my fiance.
Yeah.
They can find him walking down the aisle and dealing with my craziness. Yeah.
So, I've got a question.
All right.
How is the splits going?
I cannot believe this.
He is one of our besties. Yeah.
It's going.
We're almost at the 6-month mark.
Yeah, I'm not doing are you asking for a demonstration?
No, we're just asking if you're working on it. What's your progress?
Well, my progress is all right. It's not like I'm not
like my wedding planning progress.
If like butt on the floor is 100%, how far are you?
I would say butt on the floor, or more like vagina.
Lady bits on the floor. Trying to keep it a little PG.
Okay. For that, I would say I'm like a little bit like 6 to 7 inches.
Okay.
But that I know I can make it to 3 inches.
That's better. I can't do that, Jazz. Like I hurt.
Just curious.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not like like
how's wedding planning going for you?
Yeah,
Cory?
how's wedding planning?
So, okay.
The truth is coming out.
I know.
It is definitely a thought exercise at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
So, for instance, okay, so we all know we've booked the venue
and the date, right?
The date has been set.
Right.
The rings have been purchased.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The shoes have been purchased.
Right. We both have our shoes. Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
My dress has been purchased, even though I was trying to change it.
Jen's dress has been purchased. A dress has been purchased.
Okay.
She has
not walking out naked.
She has not decided whether this is the dress that she's going to wear. And she had not decided that was the dress she was going to wear when she purchased the dress. And she can change it. She's allowed to change it. She's purchased.
I bought it because it was a dress that I liked and it was on crazy sale.
It was on crazy sale.
Unique Vintage.
Yeah.
You know.
And she's bought a few accessories that she thinks are cute, and I think are cute too. We know where we want to buy the food from.
Okay.
But we can't actually go buy the food yet. I've done the research already, and we can't go down and schedule that yet.
Because it's from a restaurant. It's not a catering
it's from
thing.
A restaurant, and while they allow you to purchase work order stuff ahead of time, they don't allow you to do wedding stuff early. So it's weird. We should go down there.
We should go and just. They should. They probably will. It's probably just says on the website.
Yeah, I looked on the website.
Yeah.
We know where we're going to purchase our tables and chairs from, but we have not contacted them yet. But we know where we're going to get them from. We have our tablecloths. We need to go through and figure out what we have because they were given to us. So because that's going to line up with what tables and chairs we have. So we need to open those up and figure that out. So that's kind of like.
And we have a lot of the decor too.
We have a lot of the decor stuff, kind of general idea of what we're going to do. So a lot of it is all kind of like very much in our head. We know how the music is going to happen.
But I don't have a spreadsheet or anything.
There's no notebook.
Oh my god. The lady who is supposed to be the queen of spreadsheets.
No.
She is a freak in the sheets, but not that kind of. So, what I am spending more time thinking about than the wedding itself is the honeymoon. Because that is way more exciting to me than the wedding itself. Really, for me, the wedding is about, and my goal right now is to be able to dance the whole night.
Okay. Because we love dancing and we love music. Dancing. Yeah.
Jen and I went to a concert this last weekend and we danced some. And that
I had to take some breaks though.
It
was only 2 hours, right? We were there 3 hours?
3 hours. But
we didn't dance the whole time.
We didn't dance the whole time, nor could we have.
No. So
the lesson of that is like we've got some practice.
Well, yeah, and I think we have been dancing every night. We got to get back to that.
We've been dancing. We haven't been keeping up on it though.
Yeah,
but you haven't been marathon dancing. That's different.
So that's what I'm saying. Is we've got to start.
There's going to be adrenaline, but also like my stamina is not.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Is we need to start practicing the steps. So that's probably the more urgent task that needs to start now. Is because that's going to take some time.
The dancing.
Those other things, we could probably knock those out in like a month or two before the actual wedding.
And also a lot of people are there just to see us get married and dance.
Right. Yeah.
Like, so if something doesn't line up, it's not going to be the end of the world.
It's not 100% perfect. It's not a big deal. For me, this is my third wedding. This is Jen's second wedding. It's not that big of a deal.
Right. Yeah.
We know a rough idea of what we're doing for our honeymoon.
Yeah.
We need to get those dates scheduled. We need to start booking flights. We need to start booking hotels. And
I also need to get the invitations going so that way.
I guess we should probably let people know. Isn't there like a text messaging system? We can just send a bunch of text messages.
You could do it.
You could do digital stuff.
Yeah, but not a lot of people will respond digitally. Yeah,
but
whatever. It's your wedding, you know.
So my thoughts on the RSVP is that we're going to have X number of chairs there.
Whether they're filled or not.
Bring your chair.
And if for part of it, people are standing in the back, that's okay too.
Okay.
So it is what it is. If everybody has a seat.
It doesn't have to be brain surgery.
It doesn't have to be perfect. We don't have to have the perfect number of chairs for the perfect number of guests and the perfect amount of food for the perfect number of guests.
And perfect flowers and perfect.
None of that needs to be exact. If there's leftover... it's Portos. If there's leftover Portos, people can take some with them.
Yeah, we're going to have to-go boxes, and that'll be fine.
What if there isn't leftover Portos?
Then
what if there's a shortage?
Well, that would be a bummer, but I would, we're having it during the day, so they can go get something afterwards.
At the same time, if there's not enough Portos and not everybody got some, well, you should have been quicker when you got like
hot take.
Like, because it's not that kind of wedding.
I think we're people who have both lived life, and so a lot of the things don't faze us anymore.
Yeah, right. And by the time you're at your third wedding, it really doesn't fucking matter. Like, it doesn't. So yeah.
But we want to dance for sure.
Dance.
And we want my son. He wants to be involved in it too. And so, and we want family.
We want family there. The problem is like once you invite family, you invite the cousins and my brother with his 85 kids and all that. Like
it starts to
the
add
number
up.
gets up to real fast. So
yeah,
it'll be over 100 people.
And I have a lot of friends.
Yeah, and I've got friends and so what's gonna happen is people are gonna be like, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, you can come, just show up. Like if you come, cool. If you don't, cool. Like if you can make it, yep, you're absolutely invited. If people are like, oh, I didn't get an invite, that's okay. You can come anyways.
yeah.
Like I'm not gonna tell people no, you can't come.
Oh, well, my last wedding, I had we planned all the food and everything, and some people didn't show. There was no shows, and then we had extra food that we paid for.
Remember that one time when we went to a funeral and there was like leftover food at the end, but then there were some people that had to
that couldn't eat the food,
couldn't sit at the table and had to sit in a separate table. That was awful.
Yeah.
Oh,
that planning is.
That was a terrible situation.
I mean, I just want everybody to feel welcomed and included.
Yeah.
And
have fun.
And
so that's what this is going to be.
And we love each other, and that's.
Yeah. So it's going to be perfectly imperfect, and that's what it's going to be.
That's the way we are.
We're going to celebrate that about ourselves.
Right.
And we're going to dance. We're going to have fun. It'll be filled with joy, and then we're going to go to a hot springs for a couple days to defrag the hard drive before.
Probably rest after all the dancing too.
After all the dancing,
I can't just dance the night away and
all that.
Yeah.
And then we'll go to we're going to go to Tennessee.
We have to plan Dollywood, but we can't plan Dollywood yet because Dollywood doesn't sell tickets this far in advance.
So,
really?
Not like Disney. Yeah.
They're actually closed certain times of year.
Yeah, and they're closed
including
when we get married.
The week after we get married, between Halloween and November 7th, they're closed because they're taking down the Halloween stuff and they're putting up the Christmas.
Oh, so you're gonna see Dollywood during Christmas,
which is great.
Which is great.
Yeah, we love Christmas too.
So, but what that means, we're gonna fly into Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna rent a car. We're gonna go to Graceland.
The Elvis.
We're gonna.
His jungle room at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's the largest Bass Pro Shop is in
okay.
They have a hotel in the Bass Pro Shop.
Not just any hotel, there is a 5-star hotel inside
with
the Bass
balconies Pro Shop. That overlook the Bass Pro Shop.
Inside the Bass Pro Shop.
That sounds like California Adventure Hotel.
It's like that, but Bass Pro. There's real fish and stuff.
If you have an opportunity to stay inside of a 5-star hotel inside of a Bass Pro Shop, I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah.
And
so it's actually not. It's got to cost more.
But it's worth it.
But he really wants to.
This is the honeymoon.
His jam, and
we'll get some camouflage. We'll blend right in.
No one will see us.
No one will see us.
Yeah.
We'll be very incognito.
Right.
That is great.
Well,
but yeah, then we're gonna drive. We'll drive to Nashville. We'll spend a few days in Nashville,
and then we'll go to Dollywood.
Then we'll drive to Dollywood, spend a few days at Dollywood,
and come home.
Come back to Nashville, fly back out to Nashville. But yeah.
So it's going to be fun.
Should be fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Well, thank you for sharing this.
Welcome.
All right. Thank you, Cory, for being on the podcast. Jen, where can the besties find our podcast?
They can find our podcast on Spotify and Apple and Podbean. They can also go to Facebook. We have our own Facebook group, which is Life Jenerally with a J. They can also go to Instagram, and it's life.jenerally with a J. And then they can email us at Gmail, and it's lifejenerally with a J at Gmail.
So, besties, if you haven't realized, the podcast typically drops on Thursday night between 9 to 12. But you will definitely have it on Friday to start your morning.
Your Friday.
Yeah, your Friday. Woo! And lastly, if you want to support the podcast, you can, and I mean by financially supporting the podcast, you can go to buymecoffee.jenerally/lifejenerally, all in one word, to support the podcast. Or you can also support the podcast by spreading the word,
sharing it on social media, telling your friends and family
that we're awesome and you guys are awesome.
Thanks, besties.
So, Jen, do you have any last words?
Don't be a turd. What about you, Jen?
Oh. your first job should be in retail or customer service as a young teenage kid, so you can develop discipline and real work life experience for your first job.
Yeah.
So don't be working in your dad's firm and just pretending to be filing papers.
Right.
You should be working with people.
Or, doing stocking in the back. Like, warehouse work is hard, but it's not working with customers.
And you don't know the friends that you're going to meet and the different types of people when you're young. The world is your oyster when you're a young person.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah. All right, besties. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next time. Gen Squared out. Woo!